The story of Bill Gates. Once upon a time, in a city called Seattle, Washington, a boy named Bill Gates was born on October 28, 1955. Bill was curious and loved to learn new things. He spent hours reading books, solving puzzles, and asking questions about how things worked. His parents, Mary and Bill Sr., encouraged him to be curious and work hard, which helped him grow into a confident and creative young boy. From an early age, Bill showed that he had a sharp mind. While other kids his age played outside, Bill often enjoyed reading encyclopedias and solving math problems for fun. He loved learning so much that sometimes he would even argue with his teachers because he already knew the answers to the questions they were teaching. But while Bill loved school, there was one thing he loved more than anything else: computers. When Bill was about 13 years old, his school got a very special machine, a computer. Back then, computers were enormous, much bigger than a refrigerator, and they were very expensive. Not many schools had them, so Bill was very lucky. The computer fascinated Bill. He would spend hours typing commands into it and watching how it worked. He quickly learned how to write programs, which are instructions that tell the computer what to do. He loved creating programs that solved problems or made the computer do fun tricks. Bill and his friends, including his future Microsoft partner Paul Allen, spent so much time working on computers that their teachers noticed. The teachers even let them skip some classes so they could focus on programming. By the time Bill was in high school, he was creating programs for real companies. One of his early successes was writing a program that helped the school schedule classes for students. It worked so well that the school started using it every year. This was just the beginning of Bill's journey with computers. After high school, Bill went to Harvard University, one of the best colleges in the world. He studied math and computer science, but he wasn't sure what he wanted to do with his life. While at Harvard, Bill spent most of his time thinking about how computers could be used in everyday life. At that time, computers were very expensive and mostly used by big companies or scientists. They were not something most people could have in their homes. But Bill had a big idea. What if everyone could have their own computer at home? Bill believed that computers could make life easier for everyone, but they needed to be smaller, cheaper, and easier to use. He knew this was a big challenge, but he also knew that if he worked hard, he could make it happen. While in college, Bill heard about a small, new computer called the Altair 8800. Unlike the huge computers he was used to, the Altair was small enough to sit on a desk. Bill saw this as a chance to make his dream come true. He wanted to write software, programs that could make the Altair easier to use. Bill knew he couldn't do this alone, so he called his childhood friend Paul Allen, who also loved computers. Together, they worked on a program for the Altair and showed it to the company that made the computer. The company loved it. This success gave Bill and Paul the confidence to start their own company, which they called Microsoft. They combined the words microcomputer and software to create the name. Starting Microsoft was not easy. Bill and Paul worked day and night, writing programs, fixing problems, and talking to companies about their ideas. At first, their company was very small, but they believed in their dream and didn't give up. Their big break came when a company called IBM, one of the biggest computer companies in the world, asked Microsoft to create software for their new personal computers. Bill and Paul worked very hard to create a program that made IBM's computers easy to use. The program they created was called MS-DOS, and it became a huge success. Soon, more and more people started using Microsoft's software. In 1985, Microsoft introduced a new kind of software called Windows. Before Windows, using a computer was complicated. You had to type in commands to make the computer do anything. But with Windows, everything became much easier. It had pictures, buttons, and menus that people could click on with a mouse. Windows became so popular that millions of people started using it. Thanks to Windows, Microsoft grew into one of the most successful companies in the world, and Bill became very famous. By the 1990s, Bill Gates was known as one of the richest people in the world. His dream of making computers easy to use and affordable for everyone had come true. Millions of homes, schools, and businesses were using computers with Microsoft software. Even though Bill had achieved so much, he didn't stop dreaming. He wanted to use his success to help others. In 2000, Bill and his wife, Melinda, started a charity called the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The foundation works to solve big problems like fighting diseases, improving education, and making sure everyone has access to clean water. They helped millions of people by providing vaccines to fight diseases like malaria and polio. They also built schools, gave scholarships, and helped people learn how to use computers and technology. Bill believed that technology could change lives, and he wanted to make sure everyone had the chance to benefit from it. In 2008, Bill decided to leave Microsoft so he could spend more time on his charity work. He knew that Microsoft was in good hands and that he could make an even bigger difference by focusing on helping others. Bill also became passionate about protecting the Earth. He started working on ways to fight climate change by finding new, cleaner ways to produce energy. He believed that everyone had a role to play in taking care of the planet for future generations. Bill Gates's story is an example of how one person's curiosity, hard work, and kindness can change the world. He showed that even the biggest problems can be solved if we work together. Today, Bill continues to help people through his foundation. He reminds us that no matter how small we start, we can make a big difference if we follow our dreams and never give up.